In the riveting season finale of Doing Business in Rwanda 2023, relive the highlights of the year as entrepreneurs showcase groundbreaking advancements across sectors ranging from agro-tech to mining, tourism to the business of cargo and logistics, encapsulating a transformative year at the crossroads of innovation and national as well as regional ambition. I'm your host, Tessie Carvin. Rwanda's economy remained resilient in 2023 despite the global economic slowdown. Various sectors of the economy experienced growth driven by increased investments, joint ventures, and tech innovations. In the agriculture sector, for example, Rwanda made investments that would ensure food security for its people. The Gabiro Agribusiness Hub project demonstrated Rwanda's quest to be an early adopter of advanced technology in the sector, in this case, precision agriculture.
Under the leadership of His Excellency President Paul Kagame, Rwanda demonstrated a proven track record to be an early adopter of advanced technologies. Being really a leader in governance, ease of doing business, and having a continuously growing economy, Rwanda is a first choice for a partner in business, and we are very happy to have partnered with the government. So in this landlocked country, the agricultural sector makes a 1/3 out of the GDP. With the recent climatic changes, Rwanda has been hit quite heavily by the global rise in food prices, severe water conditions, and less and less water is really available when it's needed. Based on all of that, we really brought to the country precision irrigation, which is going to help the farmers and the investors who are going to come here to this project to grow more with less. So the government decided to invest $50 million alone in the water infrastructure. And this is really the innovation in itself. So normally when a farmer is coming to land, he needs to invest to get water, he needs to invest to get electricity, he needs to build his own roads. Here it's like a plug and play. So the farmer comes, he gets his lease, he pays his lease, he gets access to his land, and with the land access he has access to water, electricity and roads. So this makes this project unique, and we really hope that we will be able to duplicate this project in different parts of this world.
Though the Rwandan government is keen on Agrotech adoption, the lack of formal education among many farmers has slowed down the process.
Many of the farmers have not gone through the education process, so it's not easy like to convince them to use the technologies. But with the support of the government, farmers are starting like to know the technology is helpful, and when installing these technologies, it's better, as we've done, to give training to the farmers, to show them the use and how to use it and its importance to the farmers. So we are regularly giving like trainings to them, how they can take care of the devices and how they can utilize it, because the technology is advancing and we need farmers who are dedicated to use these technologies. Agriculture contributes like 30% on the GDP, so it's a big sector that we have to invest in. And one of it is going for precision agriculture, like applying the agriculture inputs efficiently so that we get we increase the quantity of production as well as we are reducing the expenses. That's why we are entering the phase of precision agriculture. So with the Baza farm devices and Linda farm devices, we are using green technologies because you see, we are using water from Umuvumba for irrigation, and this water could be used for big land, so it's better if you use them efficiently, if you use the water efficiently, so that the water saved can be used for other land, because Rwanda is planning to put more irrigation infrastructures in different areas. That's why we will need much water, so it's better if that comes when we are ready to use water effectively.
To tackle this issue, the Rwandan government joined forces with Howard Buffett to establish an agriculture learning institution, that is the Rwanda Institute for Conservation Agriculture, RICA.
Well, Howard Buffett, a number of years ago, had a vision for a different approach to agricultural education in Africa. And I think he understood that hands-on learning really helps students grasp both the theory and principles as well as how to do things. So he studied Africa in general and decided that Rwanda was the place that he felt this kind of an institution would be most successful.
Right.
So he partnered with the government of Rwanda to do that, to develop RICA.
Well, I chose to study agriculture because my country still faces some challenges in agriculture like drought. Yeah, so I chose to study agriculture because I thought that it could provide me with a great platform to learn more about what I can do to solve those challenges in agriculture. Yeah.
So to start with, there are many good institutions that teach agriculture very well, but they teach theory and principles primarily, not hands-on, because that's expensive. And so it's very common, and it doesn't matter if you're in Rwanda or the US, students graduate from an institution and still need to learn how to do things. They know the theory, but they still need time to learn how. We expect RICA graduates to know the theory and to graduate and to be able to immediately impact agricultural productivity in Rwanda.
RICA is producing agripreneurs who can make significant contribution along the agriculture value chain. The institute is mostly attracting the youth.
So in the first year of our studies, we just learn basic sciences, mathematics, biology, chemistry, and spend enough time on farming. Yeah, it's like a family of a smallholder farmer. Yeah, we try to imitate that family. And in the second year, we get introduced to enterprises, including animal production, crop production, mechanization, row and forage. And in the third year, we choose one specialization. We have for specialization crop production, animal production, food processing, and mechanization and irrigation. So you choose one specialization, and then you spend 6 months learning more, and then the 6 other months are spent in an internship, yeah, to gain like a work experience.
Our overarching goal as an institution is to see that 80% of our students becoming entrepreneurs in various nodes of the value chains in agriculture. But our students can also be managers. They can also work as managers in agricultural enterprises, both in the public and the private sectors. They can be consultants in the sector. So if it happens that they are not becoming entrepreneurs, they will definitely become very good human resources for the institutions that are operating in agricultural value chains in Rwanda and beyond.
Well, I want to become an entrepreneur who would use plant biotechnology tools to revolutionize agriculture. So in 5 years, I can say that I picture myself as an entrepreneur and as a plant scientist who would have brought new varieties, new crop varieties suitable to our climate conditions.
Rwanda is one of the nations with the youngest populations in the world. Actually, it is the number one country in the world with the youngest population. So if you impart specific skills to the young population, like the Rwandan population, you definitely are steering economic activities alongside agricultural value chains, and you basically are contributing to the economic development and growth of the country. So, and remember, Rwanda is also not exempted from the unemployment challenges. Okay, just like any other African country, it is also facing unemployment challenges. And so if you impart some specific skill sets and knowledge to students, and they can have the ability to take a step to go and establish a business, for example, on a particular agricultural enterprise, That means they will be employing themselves, but also creating opportunities for others to be employed in the enterprises that they will create.
Away from agriculture, Rwanda is tapping into the $500 billion industry that is sports to drive its social economic agenda. In a bid to diversify its economy, Rwanda is heavily investing in sports infrastructure across the country to ensure that the sector is thriving.
We heavily investing in infrastructure to be able to promote sports, to be able to make sure that we have right infrastructure for our clubs, for national team, to be able to train and also compete. And then number two, we are also having these investments to make sure that we achieve one of the objectives that we have as a country of becoming a destination for events, with also another specific focus on sports-related events or sports tourism. And then we also are making these investments to make sure that we keep boosting or catalyzing the economic development, because sports economy is one of the major contributors to our economy, and this is also contributor that we want to make sure that it increases its share in our national economy.
Rwanda is a beautiful African city, and Kigali, I meant, beautiful African city that where we've established relationships, and over the years really appreciate everything that's happening here in terms of especially the focus on opening up to the rest of the world and showcasing Africa in a very positive light. There are a lot of good things, that are beautiful and attractive, and I've seen the development of the infrastructure in our sector with sports when we launched the Basketball Africa League and had to play in the middle of the pandemic in 2021. This is the only place where we found that all the conditions we were looking for to play a full inaugural season and to make sure that COVID didn't become part of the story. This is where we could have those conditions. Incredible infrastructure that is world class. A partner with the Rwanda Development Board that we have been very easy to work with, and then what we could also turn the Basketball Africa League into like a platform where when we play our finals now, Kigali has become a rendezvous place where people are making plans early in the year to go to the finals of the Basketball Africa League. So, just a whole lot of reasons.
Apart from the business of sports and sports tourism, Rwanda heavily invested in conservation tourism and reaped huge benefits from it. In celebration of the country's conservation efforts, the 19th edition of the gorilla naming ceremony, locally known as Kwitizina, was marked with pomp, color, and elegance as celebrities, invited guests, and the local community gathered to celebrate conservation and nature.
Nature-based tourism has been the cornerstone of our recovery since the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm happy to share that we are set to exceed our pre-pandemic tourism revenues this year, 2023. I wish to thank everyone working in the tourism industry for their resilience and continued commitment to our Visit Rwanda goals. The results speak for themselves. Our tourism revenues for the first half of 2023 increased by 56% compared to the same period last year. We are confident that investments we are making, including our newest partnership with FC Bayern Munich, adding to the existing ones, Arsenal and PSG, will only strengthen Rwanda's tourism sector.
Since Kwitizina began, 374 baby mountain gorilla have been named, and the population in the Virunga Massif has grown by 23% over the last decades. This remarkable achievement would not have been possible without the communities living around the park, dedicated conservationists, researchers, as well as visionary leadership. Through our unique tourism revenue sharing program, Rwanda reinvests 10% of park tourism receipts into the communities surrounding the park. To date, close to $10 million have been invested in more than 1,000 projects in communities living adjacent to the Volcano National Park, Akagera National Park, Bishwati Mukura, and Nyungwe National Park.
After the tourism sector, mining is Rwanda's second largest export revenue earner. Mineral export earnings from January to September 2023 totaled $851.6 million, with the country targeting $1.5 billion in mineral export earnings this year. Value addition is one of the strategies the government is using to increase the earnings.
One exciting aspect is the value addition that Rwanda has embarked on in terms of adding value to minerals. So moving from exporting raw ore or mineral ore to adding value to the minerals, which then gives us the opportunity to sell the derivatives, the byproducts that one would get. For the gold, good news is the policy is that we can only export refined gold. How do we export higher value minerals versus the ore? Because you literally can quadruple the value of what's being exported. We've completed an airborne survey for the entire country. So we have an idea of where the mines are, which kind of mines are found in the north, south, east, and west. What we now are busy with is ensuring that we can then determine the resources attached to these areas so that the planning would make sense. That's when the financiers could be invited, because we will, in essence, start to de-risk the sector and having better value propositions. For that to work well and for that to really get us as close as possible to reaching our targets for 1.5 USD 1.5 billion.
With a policy to only export refined gold from Rwanda, the Gasabo Gold Refinery has brought the mines market closer home.
GGR, the investments is ranged between 5 billion and a half. It's if you see the modern technology we are using, it's the latest. We have made sure we've approached a country like Italy, where we source this technology, and more spare parts are brought from there, and some are in Germany. It's the latest technology that can be compared to the rest of the market. Currently, Gasabo Gold Refinery employ 40 staff. They are very well trained. We don't have any foreign within our refinery. They are local. We make sure that any changes, any technology that refinery is updating, we go training for that. We've signed an agreement with these manufacturers who supply our various equipment within a refinery. We've signed, apart from supplying agreement, also the training parties has been considered as well. Anything changes, we make sure that people are trained.
Away from mining, 2023 saw the launch of a new major African cargo hub in Rwanda called the Kigali Cargo Hub as a result of a partnership between Rwandair and Qatar Airways Cargo.
Well, 3 years ago, we were mainly shipping using our A330s, or the belly capacity of our A330s. During the low season, that was fine. But during the peak season, when flights are full, there's lots of luggage, then we don't have enough capacity for our cargo shipments. And that was frustrating for our exporters, especially fresh produce exporters. So down the road, what has happened is we've gotten our own additional capacity. The export sector has grown tremendously, especially the fresh produce, and we're able to meet that demand. And we've gotten, with this partnership, we've gotten that additional capacity. Now the challenge is actually to fill the capacity. Yeah, now it's there. Now our clients have to use it.
It is a strategic partnership. Africa is a strategic region of the world. This is one of the markets of tomorrow. It is a market today, but it will grow. Every forecast, economical forecast, show the same direction. And we want to be in that market and start serving it and helping it grow. We are helping the growth by connecting Africa with the rest of the world, import and export. So on the import side, we basically facilitate the importation of goods that are good for the economical development of the country. And for exports, our experience as Qatar Airways Cargo, we are the largest cargo airline in the world. Every time we open new routes and new countries with new services, it stimulates the economy to create new opportunities for exports. And I would not be surprised if within a couple of months, we start seeing more exports of perishable from Rwanda into the world because of the connectivity.
What it means for Rwanda, it's a positive thing for us and for the region, for the continent. What it means is what we've done with Qatar Airways is we've positioned an aircraft here, an A310 here in Kigali, that's permanently based here. And Qatar Airways flies the 777 freighters here twice a week. The cargo is then offloaded to the smaller aircraft, and the cargo is distributed to different destinations within the African continent. So for Rwanda, it's great. We're able to handle the aircraft, which is a revenue stream for us, but we're also able to buy capacity on both aircrafts for our exporters and importers. So that solves the problem of cargo capacity that we've had in the past. And that also supplements what we already have, what we're already doing as Rwanda Air on our A330 passenger aircrafts and our cargo freighter.
Freight and the cargo is like egg and chicken. You can't get the cargo unless you have the capacity to lift the cargo. And you can't have the capacity to lift the cargo unless you have the cargo, okay? So some people wonder what is starting and how do you start to get this together. We have started having both the cargo and the capacity together now. So we have the capacity, we have the cargo now, and we have now the solution, the logistics solution with Qatar, the capacity to lift this 777 plane that is coming has 100-ton capacity. It is going to come 3 times a week, and it's the feeder from Doha, from wherever in the world into Doha to Rwanda, and Rwanda will be dispatching the cargo to other countries in Africa using the 310 plane with the 30-ton, 40-ton. So you understand, it's really important. It's the connector that was missing, and now I think we are good to go.
As the year 2023 came to a close, we had the opportunity to mingle with a special group of people and cover an area that is slightly out of the norm for us: peace and security and its impact on business. Our quest took us to the Central African Republic, where we met Rwandan soldiers with the task of maintaining peace and security in the capital, Bangui, and Rwandan businessmen who have established their businesses in the country.
The Rwandan contingent first arrived in 2014 under MISCA, the African Union force that deployed here when there was a humanitarian crisis. So it later on metamorphosed into MINUSCA. And our forces, who began as 850, expanded to a bigger force. And their role was mainly to protect civilians during the crisis. And they got additional roles of protecting the MSR to the border of Cameroon, and to also additionally protect the president, his residences. You visited one of them in Damara, and several other key installations such as the airport and a few VIPs at the higher level. Yeah, so that is the UN force. But we also have a bilateral force which deployed in 2020 when the Bozize faction, the CPC, Coalition for Patriotic Change, threatened to overrun a legitimately elected government, the current president. And he requested our country to support in dealing with that threat. So we successfully repulsed the Bozize faction, and today we can safely say that they were disintegrated. They are scattered and disintegrated.
I came here when things were a bit tough. That was 2017. And during that time, there was still a big crisis here that was going on. However, now things have changed. There's a lot of law and order now, at least. I remember when I first moved here, we had a curfew at around 9, if I'm not mistaken. However, now there's no curfew in the country. So I remember being here the first time. We only had a few restaurants that were running. There were about 2 or 3, and they were mostly Lebanese owned. So that's how I came up with, when the curfew was removed about 3 months ago, that's when I came up with this concept of saying, why can't I start something where, since we have a lot of international community here that can enjoy, spend an evening, lunch. If you notice, we also make some African food, like especially from East Africa. We have namely like the nyama choma, which is our favorite dish here. So people come here because of that.
Thank you for joining us for this special 2023 Doing Business in Rwanda Highlights edition. Make sure to catch the full episodes of any of the stories you've watched here on our website, that is www.cnbcafrica.com. I'm Tessie Carvin. Bye for now.